Boys and girls, August 21st, 22nd, Empire Comedy Club, Portland, Maine. I'll be there, hon.
Okay, baby. I'm going to be in Philadelphia this weekend, August 14th and 15th. August, almost sold out at the Comedy Mothership. August 21st to 23rd, where I'll be doing free speech comedy.
Yeah!
Free speech comedy, Nazi comedy! And then I'll be in the great, beautiful town of Rochester.
Love it.
So if you don't want to put a gun in your mouth for one more night because you live in Rochester, come see me in Rochester. Then I'll be in Batavia, Levittown, LA, Dallas, and San Diego. Get your tickets at YannisPappasComedy.com. And don't forget to go and join our subscribers at Patreon.com/HistoryHyenas to join the fun all in one, 2 episodes a week.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. I'm Chris Distefano, a.k.a. Chrissy the White Belt. With me, as always, Yannis Pappas, a.k.a. Yanni Yams.
Yanni looking good today. Yanni feeling good today. Welcome to the History Hyenas, where you got a better chance of learning more accurate history of actually 2 hyenas from the Serengeti were doing it, and there was no words and it was just cackles. That's how much history you're going to learn.
It's what it is, and we just want to start off the show by saying my phone is open here. The reason why it is open is because we are uploading a video for Distefano for his birthday. We are sending him a birthday message in an effort to try in return to get U.S. Open tickets.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
I would probably think a lot of you don't know who Stefanos is. He's a top 10 tennis player in the world. He's a Greek kid. And I wanted to go to the U.S. Open, and somehow, serendipity, his girlfriend contacted Chris. I mean, I think you're just a kid with the golden ticket.
It's just what it is. Got a golden ticket, got golden balls. And let me tell you something right now. The real golden ticket is at patreon.com/historyhyenas. That has been growing exponentially, and we just want to say thank you so much to the fans who go over there and support our community. You don't know how much it means to us. It literally means everything. Patreon.com/historyhyenas. We want to announce the winner of last week's episode because it was a 3-way tie, and we could not figure it out. Jesse, can you pop open the Patreon, because I'm misremembering the 2 names. I know who the winner is, and I would open my phone to look at it, but again, my Dropbox video is uploading the video to send to Stefanos in an effort to get free U.S. Open tickets and also take a look at his girlfriend's feet because she is a piece. So the 3 people in contention, the 3 names in contention were, we could not choose at patreon.com/historyhyenas, last week's winner. We could not choose between here for uncackled Leroy jokes to feel better about my wife's dildo choice. That came in at 25% of the vote. Then we had a stoic Leroy, a.k.a. DeMarcus Aurelius. That came in at 33% of the vote. And then the winner at 42% of the vote, so this was a squeaker, was half Jackie Chan, half Jackie Robinson, full Leroy. So that is the winner, and that is your name up in the lights. Go to historyhyenasisback.com to see your name up in lights. You are the PPW, the pseudo penis of the week. If you want to get involved, then you have to go to Patreon, and not only do you have great bonus episodes over there, not only do we have the episodes ad-free so you can just listen, but you get an opportunity to list a funny name and have it read on the show.
This is what we call a Sophie's Choice. It happens once in a while. I did peruse the comments on Patreon, and the fans acknowledged that this was an impossible decision to make.
Yes.
But we have to crown a winner.
Right.
This is America. This is not Europe where there's a tie or you guys get to go move up or down.
Right.
There's a winner and there's a loser, and you are the winner, my friend. Congratulations.
It's what it is. Even some of our old fans, Fumala Harris, a.k.a. Laser Beam Leroy, said that she loves Leroy but had to vote for Stoic. I mean, people were, all around, but we always think that the fans do it right. A lot of people, AOC's, this makes my piece split.
No, AOC's tits make my piece
split. He said, fuck, this one is hard.
Yeah.
Then Commander Adolf Boogaloo, director of Camp 14, said DeMarcus Aurelius got to win. It's what it is.
Don't tell my dad.
Yeah.
Said the first one made everyone laugh so hard it shouldn't even have been a vote, and that was not correct by the numbers.
Now, Leanne, the garlic slicer, said DeMarcus Aurelius is the best name of the Second Reich. I mean, the people,
But not to be undone, Fiddle Faddle, my roast beef saddle until Doggy Paddle said this one is tough, cuzzy. 3 real contenders here.
It's just what it is.
Yeah. Sandy Feet Fumie Piece. Clear winner, DeMarcus. History reference always gets the edge with combined with Leroy. So people have different ideas about why which one should win or lose.
And even some of those names that we just read, I don't even know if they ever made the list or were in contention. There's been so many names, but just keep posting, keep doing it. We're going to make a movie about this Patreon once, just like Sylvester Stallone did in Rocky.
Yeah, and then what we can guarantee you is when you join our community of subscribers at patreon.com/historyhyenas, you're not going to be entering an Oxford-level discussion of historical topics. It's a little different over there.
No.
It's more community college level.
No, our fans are, like we did on the recent Patreon episode that we just uploaded. Today's episode is going to be great. It's going to be about William the Conqueror, and we'll get a lot of things wrong.
And the Mark Normans.
But like our fans we're not looking to discuss any of the political ideas of, say, the Founding Fathers. We have videos that we explore about what George Washington smelled like.
Yeah.
What he sounded like based off his fake teeth in, but really what he smelled like, what he thought about. That's what we're going for.
That's what we're going for. It's fun. It's fun. It's what the whole point of it is. It's fun over there. And the fans talk to each other in the chat, and we hop in once in a while, and it's a really fun community. And I'm hoping to see some little hyena babies when two of these crazy people just meet on the chat board.
Yeah,
and the next thing you know, they're sending us videos of their kids named Chaos Kevin or something like that,
yeah.
Or just people who are really what they would call got a little bit of drippage in the kitchen from the roof.
It's just what it is. And look, and we have a good time. That's the thing in life, is I'm proud of the community that we've created here and that we continue to create day by day. It's like, I don't want to be like anybody else.
Yeah.
I want our fans to just be our fans, and I like them when we meet them in the street. They're beautiful people. Everybody's a little bit retarded, just like us, and it's just what it is. We're all a little bit retarded.
We're all a little bit. We really all are a little bit, or we would be doing something concrete to contribute to society. And when this is all over, you'll see that we didn't. We just did it. We had a good time. What we did is we gave a good time. We didn't create the air conditioner. We didn't create refrigeration. We didn't create democracy. We don't know about anything. We don't even know how to make a car. Sometimes we don't even know how a car works. We got to read the manual.
Yeah.
But we had a good time.
We had a good time. And here's the thing is we may invent something. We've kind of invented a new language for
You
our
invented
fans.
the 6 p.m. show.
I invented the 6 p.m. show, which, by the way, we have a show tonight. Even though this episode won't be coming out until the show's over, we forgot to promote our own live show, which is tonight.
We forgot to even mention that we had a show.
We didn't mention it once, so if you're hearing about this, just know that there are probably tickets left for the show in September.
It's very funny that we didn't even mention it.
Yannis didn't even remember that we had it. He showed up in shorts.
Because originally it was supposed to be on the 3rd, then we switched it to the 10th.
Yeah, we just keep switching it because we were trying to move it around for my stepson's birthday party, which wound up getting canceled last week because of the rain, and it is actually today. So Jasmine actually asked me to cancel the live show again this morning. And I said, I can't. And she's like, did you even promote it? And I said, that's not the point, bitch.
Yeah, now, I don't like this rule that you can't wear shorts on stage.
That's the fucking rule, guy.
I got sexy legs.
You do have sexy legs.
I understand why you may want a full pant up. Right? Because you just don't have sexy legs?
I really don't, right?
You got milky, it just looks like someone had a container and poured milk into it.
I got milky white legs, but the truth is if I get the weight behind the right hand and get you in a jiu-jitsu hold, it's going to be a long day for you. That's just the truth. And then I'll do it all in high heels, fucker.
Yeah. No, because all I'll have to do is step on your foot, you're done.
Yeah,
if I can make contact with the back of your foot,
I'm Achilles.
You're Achilles, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm Achilles. I got a big bony overgrowth called called a Haglund's deformity right on the back of my heel, and make absolutely no mistake, it makes it impossible to walk around in pumps.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. And in fact, that's probably how the injury happened.
It does, because I was moonlighting a lot. And Chris Talia just gets fatter by the second.
He gets fatter by
He told me,
the
he goes, oh, that he's a big fan of the Premier League, and his team is West Fulham, and go to London. He goes, we should go out together. I said, I'm not getting on the plane with you.
Last 14.
Okay, I'm not getting on. We don't need to run out of fuel over the Atlantic.
I have a great idea. Maybe we can invent something. Why is there not a plus-size airline?
Good point.
Why is there not a plus-size airline?
A jumbo airliner.
Why is there not a jumbo airliner? Why is there's plus-size stores?
Good call.
There's
bigger seats.
Bigger seats.
Bigger fuel.
Yeah, bigger meals.
Bigger meals.
Yeah, things
bigger.
like that. Yeah.
Get on the plus size. You can only get on if you're over 300. Oh.
If you're over 300.
Sorry, I got choked up.
Extra air conditioning to make it just even feel like it's,
There should be wider seats, because one of the saddest things I saw, I was on a JetBlue flight. Kid was sitting in the front row, and he was a big kid, and he couldn't fit. The armrest didn't go up, so he could not get in. And I could see him dying. He was sweating. So I went in the bathroom, I pissed, and I just told the kid, I said, you could sit in my seat, because I had the adjustable armrest. So and he was so thankful that I let him sit in there. And I felt terrible. I felt terrible for the kid, and so I just I always remember that. I always remember the back of his head smelled like ham.
Which is as per usual. It's always some food, It's just sort of, there's food around them.
It's unfortunately, but fat people on planes is one of Jesse's art pieces over there to the right on Pinterest.
Do you think it would motivate a little bit if they just had weight rules for
No,
flights?
I think
that's cruel.
I think it's cruel, and
it'd be better for people's health.
I would want a plus size airline for people, because listen, here's the truth: is you being obese has nothing to do with it's your journey. But because we're living in a society where there's not a lot of things for obese people, I just think having an airline for them would be actually a fantastic idea. Yeah. And I think it would make people who are scared to get on planes and see the world, I think it would open up an opportunity for them. And I think now that Spirit Airlines went out, you can open up a new overweight person's airline.
Would people emotionally respond to that okay? Like would they feel like they're being laughed at? Like, for example, if you had plus size airlines, of course, you would have to have cars, little buggies, pick them up as soon as they got to the airport and wheel them all the way.
Listen, I think it's going to be one of those things where people are going to make fun of it, but it's just one of those things like, it's just one of those things like, look, you don't have to make it a bad name. Like you don't have to, instead of JetBlue, you don't have to call it JetMo.
But you can.
But you can if you want. If you're making the airline, you
can.
You could do it. You can actually do whatever you want.
You could do whatever you want.
But you don't have to.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you totally can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So you don't. But
you could call it. Let's see if this thing can get some air.
Yeah.
Let's see if this thing can take off.
Yeah, you could see it. Yeah.
Challenge accepted to the plane.
Yeah.
See if I can lift. Things like that.
Yeah. So whatever.
Instead of airlines, you call it Delta Grounded.
Yeah. Delta Ground
this
Force.
Too heavy to get up.
Yeah.
You could do some fun stuff.
You could do whatever you want, guy.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm copying the link and I'm sending it to Stefano Sisipidis.
Or you could call it All You Can Eat. Oh, just All You Can Eat. All You Can Eat Airlines.
That's what it is.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All You Can Eat Airlines.
Yeah.
Or Snickers bars under the floorboards.
Yeah, Buffet
Airlines.
in the Sky.
Buffet in the Sky is a good one.
Yeah.
That's where secret eating.
Yeah.
How about secret eating airlines?
Yeah.
How about if I'm in public, I'll order a salad airlines.
There's many things we could do, and I actually think that having an airline for overweight people is something that you hit on, and that could be our new idea that changes humanity.
That could be very nice. That could be a very
But
good
with those
thing.
Ozempic now and GLP-1s, people are getting less obese.
I know, and
so we got to combat that.
Sometimes some of the solutions are not the most empathetic to certain communities. Like, you can't deny if we did have some sort of tax credits or incentive structure to be more in shape.
Sure.
Like you would pay less for your insurance, things like that.
Sure.
It would work a little bit. Some people would financially be incentivized to let me get in a little better health so I pay less insurance.
Sure.
I just do think sometimes if you buy into the progressive taxation and how that's a good thing, maybe there should be some sort of progressive penalty.
Right.
When you pay for insurance based on how much of a risk you are to spend everyone's money who's thrown into the pot. That only seems fair. That only seems fair that if you go into a McDonald's, you get to the counter, there's a scale.
Right.
You step onto a scale, and that scale says a certain number, and he goes, "Can I get a burger?" And you go, "I'm sorry, that burger is against the law."
Well, let me ask you this.
That wouldn't be bad for society.
Well, let me ask you this, though. What did the ancient Greeks do with fatties?
They threw them off a cliff, or they bounced off of them.
Did they No, but what did they actually do? Do we have any historical references of what ancient Greek people did? Or could you you couldn't really get to the levels of obesity back then.
You couldn't. Food was a little hard to come by. But it's not just that. Public shaming was a lot more acceptable in history.
It was, yeah.
As well as murder, as well as rape, a lot of things. It wasn't a politically correct time.
It wasn't a politically correct time.
So if you were fat, I mean,
yeah,
the chances that someone wouldn't throw a slur at you,
yeah.
I mean, you got to admit that social pressure probably worked very well to keep people thin.
What it say? Ancient Greeks did recognize excessive body fat as a problem, particularly among wealthy men, but they understood it very different from modern medicine. There wasn't a concept of obesity as a chronic disease. Instead, being excessively fat was often viewed through the lens of health, self-control, athleticism, and moral character.
Yeah, so I was wrong. Maybe they looked at it like the way some African nations, like if you're too skinny, it just means you're poor. If you're fat, it means you're doing good.
Right.
So
right.
I don't know if I buy that 100%.
Exercise was considered fundamental to the health in ancient Greece, so they knew about that. They knew that Greek physician Hippocrates wrote extensively about diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so they knew.
And I believe that some things, the political correctness of certain things are very easy to read through. Like, for example, when they refer to Muslim conquests as expansions, like a morning stretch.
Sure.
I feel like that's not an accurate depiction.
No.
I feel like when you look at all the Greek statues from that era, there's not one fatty.
No.
So I don't think they celebrated it the way they're portraying it in this summary. I think it's sensitivity awareness that they're doing right there.
You think they were called fat fucks?
I think they were called fat fucks. I don't think human nature changed because people are sensitive now. I think there's certain things you can look at in history and call bullshit, like when you see a French person who was a man 2 years ago averaging a fucking 20 and 20 mark in a French pro league.
It's just what it is. You hear all about that on the Patreon.
Yeah, I think some things you can just eyeball.
Listen to this. Dionysius the First of Syracuse was reported to have become extremely obese. Ancient writers said rulers and wealthy men struggled with excessive weight. So what did Greek medicine actually do? If someone was overweight, a physician might prescribe a regimen involving less food, more exercise, controlled drinking, massage, bathing, lifestyle changes. So you could still drink some booze, but just a little bit less, and you would just get happy endings from the massages.
I would guess that it was pretty similar to today, just a little bit crueler with the terminology. I believe it was probably more just like it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Where you just had a name for them. Because when you look back in history and you see they went to brothels, they did graffiti. I mean, they were just people just like us, and human nature doesn't change.
Now, do you think if an ancient Greek or one of these fighters saw us, we would look fat to them? Like, were these guys...
We'd look like fucking giants.
Yeah, because they were little kids.
They were little kids. They say that Rollo, and today we're going to talk about the Normans, Rollo, who started Normandy, the Viking that started Normandy, they said that the myths about him was that he was 7 feet tall. They called him Rollo the Walker because they said he was too big to fit on a horse, so he had to walk to pillage.
Okay.
And historians believe he was 6 foot. He was my height, so they kind of exaggerated. But 6 foot back then, you looked like a fucking mutant.
And make no mistake,
you looked like the giant of Kandahar.
Rollo's is a really good restaurant in Ridgewood, Queens, where I'm from.
Yeah.
So we're all going to go to Rollo's one day.
And Rollo's would roll through, and the next thing you know, your family members who were female were impregnated with Viking kids.
It's just what it is. That's probably where I came out. And I got to be honest with you, cousin, it's just one of these situations that I haven't been in a while. I have an erection that I can't stop. And it's just growing, and I keep tucking it underneath my waistband, but my erection is just coming, and it's bad.
Well, I have a problem is that when that hot black chick on the Chicago Sky clotheslined Sophie Cunningham, I got hard.
It's just
So
what it is.
I don't know what that means.
Is Gabby Williams is the one who clotheslined?
No,
Or no, Dominique
no,
Malonga.
her name is a lot harder to say unless you're from a certain community.
Yeah.
I needed it sounded it out for me because it's a black name and they're both smoke shows.
It's just what it is.
I kind of liked it.
I liked it. I went to the premiere of Ted Lasso.
It's can you pronounce that?
Dijonay Carrington.
Dijonay Carrington.
I went to the premiere of Ted Lasso last week, and I saw Brianna Stewart there, and she is a tall drink of water. And
how's he doing?
Really cute. He's a good guy. And I did Ted Lasso, and I went on the red carpet, and then Jazz and I went and sat down, and Ted Lasso wasn't going to start for another 30 minutes. So Jazz said, "Can we get out of here?" So I went and I didn't see Ted Lasso. It's just what it is, but I did see Brianna Stewart, and she's a big girl. And I'll tell you, even though I know we've discussed and guys joke around and say they could score in the WNBA, and I think most can if you could play, but a girl like Brianna Stewart, she's a tough lady. You're not going to be able to get around her. She's an exceptional athlete.
Yeah.
Brianna Stewart's like 6'6".
Yeah, she's like 6'6".
She's a strong girl.
One of the best basketball players. A little slow of foot.
But I don't know if you'll be able to post her up.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to post her up.
And I
like her too. I like her.
She's on the Liberty.
Yeah, I think I'm a Liberty fan too.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like her. She was MVP of the league at some point. She's from UConn. And
I asked my daughters if they want to go see games. They just don't want to go.
Yeah, girls just don't want to.
Girls don't want to go, right? Men, WNBA fans are a lot of men, right?
And when they finally do get like a little pop and girls get interested, what happens is they just start infighting and ruin the whole thing.
Caitlin Clark, you had so much momentum and now it's ruined again.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure that Caitlin Clark is responsible for the genocide in Gaza.
It's just
that's the way I think it's being viewed. When the players elect her as the 11th best player, 11th best guard in the league. Meanwhile, she's top 3 or 2 in points and assists. It just shows you that these bitches be hating bitches.
They just be hating.
They just be hating. They're just a little jealous, and there's just nothing. And make no mistake, I understand that she's getting about 20, 30 mil from Gatorade. I'd want to hit that bitch with a stiletto too.
Yeah, I mean, no, make no mistake, Caitlin Clark, the girl's getting paid. See, you pull up this picture, Jesse, you see this one? Yeah, can you make this bigger? Now, who do you think makes me go pewing and is making this erection like out of control?
Brianna Stewart.
Nope.
Not Brianna Stewart?
No.
Well,
it's the one kneel down with the thigh tattoo. I see a thigh tattoo, and I want to get in it big.
Is it Sue Bird? I'm just going with the lesbians.
No, Sue Bird's
Bird's in the right.
No, but who's the one kneel down on one leg with the thigh tat? Who's that one?
Cuz I don't know who that is.
I like her.
I'm going to take a stab. Shamika Cummings.
Yeah. That's what I want to get in with big.
Yeah. Well, I would pick that too. I'd pick the 2 bottom ones.
Really?
I pick the one squatting.
You too, Nick?
Yeah.
Pick the 2 bottoms.
Yeah, the one who's squatting down there like a cat will get cleaned.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous women. Yeah, I mean,
she's not a poop slurper, but she'll get cleaned.
She'll get cleaned. Yeah.
There's levels to the games.
Cuz, listen.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about Mars Men.
Tell me about Mars Men.
Because I want you...
Because I was using Venus Men and I'm not satisfied.
Because I want you to feel good. I want you to feel the way that you know how to feel and look the way you know how to look. Okay, your stomach's holding on to more fat. You feel you're more irritable. You're less motivated. You're mentally drained. Okay? So I said to myself, how can I help Yanni? It's got high cortisol. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone. You know, we got the work deadlines, the screens, the finances. It's all that. So I said Mars Men is what we need. It helps you feel more mood stable, less stress, more consistent, natural energy. It's not like drinking a cup of coffee. It's a steadier sense of drive throughout the day. You get improved sleep quality because it's cute.
It's good for people who are a little up in age because your testosterone levels are a little low. So this helps you in every way. I gave it a try. It's very nice.
Healthy testosterone levels. That's what we need. And you get 90-day money-back guarantee if you don't feel better. So that's what I like, a product that puts its money where its mouth is. 90-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk. Worst case, you don't absolutely love it, and then you get your money back. But 91% of users get higher energy levels.
Yeah, no weird stimulants, no synthetic hormones. It's all natural natural ingredients to support healthy testosterone production, supports healthy T levels, energy, and stamina. And like Chrissy said, so for a limited time, our listeners are getting 50% off for life plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. You know what to do. Please support the History Hyenas and tell them that we sent you.
That's it. Guys, if you're running a business, you always got to be reachable. Okay, that's why one of the best decisions I did last year is I got honeypotted and I went with Quo.
Yes, because some of the best decisions I've done is I started doing Taibo and I use Quo.
Because Quo, today's episode brought to you by Quo. That's QUO, the business phone system built so you never miss an opportunity. I love Quo. QUO. First of all, when we got this company, I said, is this the one that skated for China, but she's American? She said, no, that's Goo. And I said, oh, Quo. And I've taken it into my life. And I got to be honest, I have not missed a call or text from Yanni in about a year because I got Quo.
Quo is very good. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo. And it's a beautiful thing. All your calls, texts, and voicemails live in one place, so anyone on your team can pick up a conversation, see the full history, and respond fast. It's the #1 rated business phone system on G2, trusted by over 90,000 businesses.
Honey, money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo.
Yeah, always say hello with Quo.
Try Quo for free. Plus, get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/hyenas. That's QUO.com/hyenas. Say hello with Quo. Now, Guy, again, what I'm always fascinated by is you, again, sent me a text the other day and you said, do you want to go? You said, do you want to talk about Normand?
Yeah.
And I said, do you mean Mark Norman? And you said, no, the Normans. And I said, do you mean the Normans? And you said, yeah.
Yeah.
So what got you pawing about Normandy, which is basically ancient France, right? So the Normans, what made you go pawing about them?
What made me go pawing about them is I was just giggling over the fact that when you think about it, they were just Viking dudes who learned French and then just like went back out and like murdered. Because that's essentially what they are. They were just like, hey, we're gonna conquer here, and then the French were so weak, like I think it was Charles the Simple or whatever, was just like cut a deal with Rollo, and he's like, look, dude, please stop. Like, they tried. They were like, that's bad, that's wrong, it's inappropriate, you're not using pronouns, you're being very mean to people who are large, just please stop. Women are women, and they tried that, and Rollo just kept killing people and raping people.
It's just what.
And so then they just go, okay, please stop.
Yeah.
Here's Normandy. Just please take that. It's yours now.
Right.
As long as you just stop killing us. We're French people. We want to eat baguettes. We want to cheat on our wives. We want to have pet-a-terres. And we like to eat snails. And we're not about that life.
I want to throw a powdered wig on and just dance.
Yeah, they're just going, found your little Republican, Nazi, right-wing, white supremacist kind of land up there.
Don't care.
And just leave us Dems over here to just smoke weed, sit around, and judge.
Yeah, it's just.
We want to just get our liberal arts degrees and figure everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Normans, they were Viking raiders, and who just learned France. There's a great show called The Vikings, which is on the History Channel. They talk about Rollo. He was a bad mofo.
He was a vicious guy.
So the Vikings, they repeatedly raided the French coast, and they sailed up the Seine River at Paddy. Then, as you said, Charles the Simple made a deal with the Viking leader Rollo. Rollo got the territory around the Seine in exchange for stopping the raids. But I'm sure they probably looked at Charles the Simple as a little bitch for that,
They
right?
looked at him as a little bitch boy.
But did Charles the Simple survive because of that?
Well, Charles the Simple looked at him kind of like the way some comics look at Tony Hinchcliffe. They go, this guy's bad.
Yeah.
And we can't stop him, so just go over there.
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal. You go over there. Like, we can't stop your popularity. We can't stop your momentum.
Right.
But we're going to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
We're going to draw a line in the sand. You're over there. We're over there. And that's what happened. And Rollo took the deal because Rollo was able to get some money out of it. And when we say raids, I like the word raids. It's kind of like when you say a soldier got injured.
Yeah.
Right? No, Ray Allen gets injured.
Right.
Ray Allen sprained his ankle.
Yeah.
Soldiers get maimed.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you hear the word raid, what they really mean is they murdered and raped.
Yeah.
They were there doing, I mean, the Vikings were they liked it.
Yeah.
They really liked it. That's
what it is.
They enjoyed it. They went and they raided all these coastal towns spread all over Europe. Actually, Russia is named after the Vikings that fucking pillaged that area.
They were the Rus Vikings?
The Rus.
Yeah.
Rus. It's a Scandinavian
Because
word.
Vikings ruled the world for hundreds of years.
They got in a lot of these elite areas, and people just made concessions, and then they assimilated into where they were and started speaking French and whatever.
Well, because that's what it is. So the think about the Normans. The easy way to do it is they come to northern France. They get the territory from Charles the Simple. Whatever. And then by the 11th century, they weren't really Vikings anymore. So about 300 years later, they were French-speaking Christians of Scandinavian ancestry, and they were known as the Normans.
Yeah.
And the Normans, we're going to get to William the Conqueror, but this is really how modern-day England is created.
Yeah.
Through this.
Yeah. So England was up there. And so Rollo, starts Normandy. And then Rollo has some kids, and then they go through the line, and then they become Christians, they become knights, they do all this stuff, they learn French, they learn how to eat baguettes.
But they're Vikings.
But they keep going, there's something missing.
Right.
They go, I like being French, I like having a cigarette, I like having a baguette.
Yeah.
But there's something missing. Yeah. What's this thing missing? There's a hole in me.
Right.
Oh, I know what it is. I need to kill and rape.
That's what it is.
I need to conquer, I need to go back out, because at the heart we're Vikings. So then Rollo's great-great-great-grandson, who is basically a Jon Snow of Normandy. He's a bastard son.
Right.
Right? He's a bastard son of his pops, who I think was Robert or Charles or one of these guys.
One of these guys.
And his wife was a concubine. His wife was basically his mistress.
Sure.
And so...
Be nice to bring back concubines.
Nice.
Be nice if somebody could legalize concubines.
Just a concubine.
And I will say...
Or a harem.
And I will say, I know that people are afraid, some people are afraid, I should say, of Mamdani, Muslim mayors, or them taking, the Muslim Islamic faith taking over politics. I say bring it on, because they are the most likely to bring back concubines is Islamic leaders. They're the ones, they'll bring it back the quickest.
Yeah, I don't think. For them,
if you want a harem.
Yeah, I think you can. I think in certain places you can have it.
Yeah, so it's what it is.
Definitely,
Dearborn, Michigan, you can have it.
Dearborn, Michigan, it's a little different. Yeah. Literally.
So go ahead.
Pun intended. So he has to fight. I mean, this kid is a brilliant, savvy survivor from the beginning. And he survives assassination attempts, right?
William the Conqueror.
Yeah, because William the Conqueror is the illegitimate son of, who's his pops? Robert or something? Who's his pops?
William the Conqueror.
His pops was somebody. His pops was the guy. And so... His mom was a concubine, so he's like a Jon Snow.
His father was Robert I,
yes.
Duke of Normandy, commonly called Robert the Magnificent or Robert the Devil, depending on what side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah, Robert the Devil, as he's known in the Hispanic and Black communities.
Yes.
Robert
Diablo.
Yeah, Robert Diablo, as the Israelites call him.
Right.
So he's Robert I. He was the Duke of Normandy from 1026 until his death. And his illegitimate son, who we're talking about, the man in question, William, the famous William, was born in 1028 in Normandy. And his mom was a chick named Arlette.
When we
Sounds like a girl from Queens.
Hey, it's Arlette. How you doing?
It's Arlette coming over. Is she bringing some pound cakes again?
I'll tell you what, my husband Robert, who left me, he's a fucking scumbag.
Would you believe that Christopher finally got married? Oh my God, yeah. I just can't believe he didn't settle in Ridgewood. That was odd for me because he loves the neighborhood.
He keeps moving around, bouncing around. He's got a screw loose.
He's got a screw loose is what I tell you, but his father, I always loved his father.
His father's a nice kid. He was always coaching the baseball team. Now I heard he's having visions of people coming out of paintings and shit. I don't know what he's fucking doing.
I don't know what's going on, but it's good to see you, Arlette.
Yeah, good to see you, Arlette. I'll see you at Sunday Mass at St. Matthias.
Yeah, and tell Agnes I say hello.
So William the Conqueror. Go up a little bit, Jesse Messi. There it is. Yeah. So William the Conqueror, his big claim to fame, the big thing, the Duke of Normandy, William the Conqueror, invades England in 1066 with all his Normandy Vikings, and the Battle of Hastings, he defeats Harold Godwinson. But the Battle of Hastings is really where it's the beginning of what modern day English society is now.
Yeah.
Cities of London and all that. It all comes from this raid. Norman expansion, he kept going.
And
They
then the French and the English kind of beef that they still have starts here.
It's all
this
here.
Is all comes back to 1099.
Yeah, 1066.
1066, sorry.
1066.
They're upside down.
Yeah. So, and then they keep going. They take over Sicily, whatever. But really, the Battle of Hastings, this is one day, October 14, 1066. It didn't last, it lasted like a few hours.
Yeah.
I sent you that AI video.
Yeah.
Did you watch that? Of that piece?
She could catch
Yeah,
it.
so what AI is doing now is they're showing you how, here, let me I'll send it to you, Jesse, because you just pull it up. Yeah, here it is. What they're doing, I time traveled to the Battle of Hastings at 10. Can we play this and not get dinged? Yeah, play this, because this is really shows it, shows what's going on.
So I'm in the east coast of England.
She's gorgeous, this girl.
Right now,
This is
and it's
crazy.
all kicking off. William of Normandy and his army has just arrived from France, and they look serious about invading England. 700 ships, and they brought the horses on boats. Nobody does that. That's insane. And there's no one here. Nobody's stopping them. The whole English army is like 300 miles away. This is the English army. They just beat a Viking invasion up north. Now they have to march 270 miles back.
Yeah, so pause it for a second. So what's interesting is the Normans were now, they were a couple generations into being French, even though they had Vikings roots. But Viking raids, different tribes of Vikings were constantly raiding everywhere. So there was another bunch of Vikings that raided England like days before.
Right.
So this kid was busy. He just beat them. It was and then 5 days later, he had to march down to fight William.
That's why he's going to lose. Yeah, they were everywhere Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So this is Harold, who we're talking about.
He's the King of England. How do you feel about fighting again tomorrow? Are your men tired?
Fumes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that as a yes.
Harold
So here's why
Godwinson,
this is
King
even
of England.
happening. When
Look at
King
this.
Edward died,
Do
three
you
men
think this is
wanted the
probably
throne.
what it looked like for real?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. I mean, we know from the outfits, and then you just, you build it.
Start piecing it together looking at what the ancient writings were and you say, this is what it is. Yeah. Keep playing it, Jess. This is fascinating to me.
William says Harold swore an oath to support his claim instead, and broke it. William even got the Pope's blessing for the invasion. So as far as he's concerned, this isn't a war. It's a debt being collected.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably something how it looked like.
Look, they tell you, look.
That's the shield wall. House girls at the front, everyone else, farmers mostly, packed in behind them. And that's the entire English plan.
It's a wall.
Hold this ridge, don't move, don't break. So this kid behind me is like 16. He was harvesting a field a week ago, and now he's... Okay, that's them.
Yeah, so they have to come uphill. The Vikings have to come uphill.
Then the infantry, then the horses. They have to get up this whole hill. And that's the only reason this is
The
even a
Normans
fight.
have to come up a hill. Which, if you had the high ground in ancient times, you could
It's
win.
holding. Like it's been hours
always
and
in
it's
war.
still holding.
Even why nowadays?
Can't break it. The horses can't
Not
get
as
through
much
it.
now.
Yeah.
No.
It's actually a good
Why
point.
are they chasing them? Don't chase them. Don't. It was fake. The retreat was fake.
They did a fake retreat to lure them out.
Yeah.
The Normans,
Harold's dead.
the Viking Normans were
brothers are
smart
dead.
kids.
Yeah, you know
The
who else
dogs
used to do
9 this
that?
morning and it's
The
nearly
Huns.
dark.
Big.
Fake.
Called feigned retreats. Big.
Big.
Yeah.
Get them out.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Yeah.
And then you go like
Harold's
this
gone,
and come
and
right
there's
back
no
at
obvious
it.
king anymore.
So Harold got killed
William
in the
thinks
battle.
The crown is his. But most of England hasn't agreed to that yet. Not even close. Within 20 years, hundreds of castles go up, including the Tower of London you see today. Nearly every cathedral gets rebuilt from scratch.
Church like
This
the
is
kid
it.
big.
That's William, right there, being crowned. And it's already going wrong. The crowd's cheering so loud the guards outside think it's a riot and set fire to the street. But this, right here, is the start of modern England. New language, new laws, new ruling class. So I'm in the
Pretty
East Coast.
sick.
Yeah, so that's when we get, the Angles and the Saxon. Like English is mostly Anglo-Saxon language, and then you throw in some Latin from the Rome time, then you throw in some French over here.
That's
some
how English starts to get
Norwegian
created.
words,
Right.
And so that's modern English is a combination of all these things.
Even
but
how we're
mostly
speaking starts at 1066, pretty much.
starts right there, baby.
Yeah, so that's really might be our real founding.
Yeah, and what you had over there before was the Angles and the Saxons. Those were just Germanic tribes over there that settled there. But the Vikings, the Vikings like to move around.
Yeah.
They like to really, they like to take a peek.
That's the thing is with me and how much I move. It's just every sign points to Viking.
That's what I'm telling you. You're in the wrong. I'm telling you, go listen to our bonus episode where I really break down what your anxiety is. You were born in the wrong century.
Patreon.com/historyhyenas is all broken down.
I think you just have the heart of a pillager.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the thing. I knew if I was in a different time, I think I would be a pillager.
Right.
I think we'd all be pillagers. We'd find ways to be pillagers.
Right.
And then I think pillaging is a really hard habit to break.
Right.
I think it can get a little out of hand. And like drinking, and people going, whoa, you're pillaging a little too much.
Right.
And you go, really? Yeah, we have to have an intervention because Yanni's been pillaging a lot.
Yeah.
So we sit him down and you go, Yanni, you've been raping and pillaging like every day. Sometimes you rape and pillage alone.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand.
You can't do it anymore.
And then you got to go into the program for pillaging.
Yeah.
You just got to really abstain from pillaging.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the most addictive thing. Pillaging.
I don't know that you can come back from it. I think once you do it once, I think that's it.
I think that's
now
it.
You're just a pillager.
It's just you're a pillager from there on in. Yeah. Just a couple pillagers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you look back in history and it looks horrifying, but in the moment, the guys were probably having a lot of fun.
They were having a lot of fun. There's no question that they were lit on something.
Oh my God, were they hammered?
Yeah, because the rumor is there was another tribe. I think they were called the Berserkers. That's where the word comes, Berserkers. And the rumor was those kids used to do mushrooms.
Yeah.
And just have at it.
Yeah.
So they didn't think they were killing a person. They've seen dragons.
Yeah.
They were seeing all types of fun
just
stuff.
What it is. Yeah, they went berserk.
It was more like Harry Potter for them.
Look at that. Yeah, if you mean the Viking berserkers, they were a type of warrior associated with the Norse world. They would have extreme battle frenzy. The word berserker comes from Old Norse berserker. It is often interpreted as bear shirt, suggesting warriors wore symbolically adopted the power of bears. They just would fight with aggression, ignore pain and fear, howl or roar before battle, bite shields, go into trance-like frenzy, and fight with little or no armor.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, it's funny history. We forget like how brutal. I mean, so the theories are that the berserkers used a mushroom, a type of, they were taking shrooms.
Right.
Kids weren't microdosing either. They probably took a whole dose. And then that makes the berserking fun.
Right.
Right? That makes the berserk, it just gives it a little bit, it gives you something to play for.
Yeah.
As you would say. I like that expression.
Get something to play for.
Give you something to play for. And so I think you could pretty confidently say, when you look at any war, any battle throughout history, the soldiers were high. They were on something.
How could you not be?
How can you war sober?
Yeah.
You can't war sober.
If you're going through war sober, you're a psycho.
If you're white knuckling war.
No, dude.
I mean, who does that?
You got to go, when your pops was in Korea, what, you think he was on something?
I never asked him that.
That would have been nice to know.
Interesting. Yeah. All I know from that period is
just what it is. Yeah.
He told me that without asking.
He just told you that.
Only information I got.
Yeah, it's just what it is. So sometimes you got to...
Yeah,
you can do.
That's all he told me. That's the only, and he told me that war is hell. And he said the reason why he was so decorated is because you can't pin a medal on a dead guy. That's all I know.
That's all you know.
That's all I know.
And again, you didn't ask for it.
I did not ask for it, nor did I ask for him to tell me my mom had fumes. I did not ask for that.
It's just what it is.
Yeah,
you got to deal with it.
I got to deal with it. Sometimes my dad was a war veteran.
Your dad was a war veteran. It's once in a while he's just going to tell you like it is. Yeah.
Whether you want to hear it or not.
And it's kind of fun to just talk about your mom and dad now, like even publicly say, like, my dad to the wife at fumes, because it's just like they're dead.
They're dead.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice that you can just tell the truth about the situation.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
So when your parents, God forbid someday you will just become a fully gay man.
It's just what it is.
That's kind of your struggle, right?
I'm edging, yeah.
Yeah, is it like deep down, do you feel like you may be gay and the reason why you're not gay is because your parents are alive?
Well,
or does it have more to do with the pressure from your group chat?
I think...
Or is it both?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, but I think the main... I've talked about it on stage before. When my dad dies, if I just think that I'm going to take a good look inside and see what's in there.
Yeah.
and I suspect I'll find some sugar in the tank.
You might find a little bit. Yeah. You might find a little bit. Maybe that's why you're pre-diabetic, is because there's a lot of sugar in the tank.
Because I've been having a little bit of an issue in my house, having some pests.
I have been
having some pets.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about ones that were in the, they're in the house, they're running around. So I called up a little company called Pesty.
Pesty's nice because a lot of times you want to save a couple dollars and do it yourself.
Yes.
With Pesty, you can do it on your own. They give you the kit. They give you the know-how.
Yep.
And you go out. Sometimes you don't need to call an exterminator. You got ants in your pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, just get Pesty.
Because I like Pesty, okay? It's awesome. It gets rid of over 100 types of bugs, from spiders and ants to roaches and scorpions. Pesty is kid and pet friendly. The pesticides they ship are fully registered and have been used in hospitals and schools all over the country. Pesty offers 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. If the bugs don't go away, you're going to get a full refund. The kit includes a sprayer, a mixing bag, pesticide, gloves, and instructions you can complete in less than 10 minutos.
Yeah, you can scrub the bugs, baby.
What it
Keep
is.
bugs out of your summer sanctuary with Pesty. Go to pesty.com/hyenas for an extra 10% off your order today. That's pestie.com/hyenas for an extra 10% off.
Now, let me ask you this, cuz this Battle of Hastings, the 1066, the Vikings, the Normans, you find it fascinating. These people fight, they have a good time, whatever. They created all this modern day England. I mean, now, do you believe because there also is conspiracies and all that, do you believe that these Viking invaders, these people were otherworldly and were an ancient alien race that got put on here on this planet because they just looked different, they sounded different, they were able to conquer so much so quickly? What do you have to say to that?
No, I think for that there's very convincing natural explanations.
And what is it?
I think the kids lived up north. They didn't get a lot of sun, so they got pale because that benefited them.
How did they get so tall?
They
and
got
big?
tall because they had a diet, a high-calorie, high-protein diet of fish and meat, and so they became
They
big.
didn't eat
They
much
became
bread.
strong. I think it's cold up there, so they got bored.
Right.
I think they got bored. I think they were a little depressed.
Right.
And I think pillaging was something that just kind of solved the problem.
Right.
I think they said, hey, we're sitting up here, it's cold, it's shitty. And then one guy came back and goes, which translated to, hey, I just killed a guy.
Yeah.
And I feel alive.
It's just
And the
what it
rest
is.
of them said, I want in on that.
Yeah.
And so I think they just all started doing that to feel good.
And the Vikings definitely discovered America before Columbus.
I hate to tell you that we shouldn't be celebrating Christopher Columbus. We should be celebrating Lars.
We should be celebrating Erling Haaland because he discovered it first. I mean, they said that Columbus knew. Columbus had access to knowledge of early Norse voyages and deliberately concealed them. There's evidence Columbus had some geographical information about the North Atlantic. So listen, the kid probably knew the Kensington runestone, which was discovered in Minnesota in 1898, supposedly proves Vikings traveled deep into North America in 1362.
Yeah, and that in Minnesota now has a veil over it with Arabic writing
just
over
what
it.
it
It's
is.
just times change, different things change. Everyone has a run. William the Conqueror, he focused on ruling Normandy and he focused on ruling England.
Yeah.
But the kids, they like to pillage, so they did take a couple bites out of Scotland.
Yeah.
They took a couple bites out of the coast of Ireland, but they mainly focused on England. And meanwhile, his cousin was down there and he took Sicily. And he took Sicily from
Who?
the Muslims.
The Muslims.
So the Muslims were in Sicily.
Yeah.
And that would have been a totally different history if his cousin, I don't remember what his cousin's name was, but he was like, I'm going to go up and take England, right? You're going to go down. You're going to go down and you got a different job.
Yeah.
You got a different job.
Yeah.
All right? Your job is a little different. What I want you to do is you got more of a claim for Christ.
Yeah.
Yours is a little bit more of a holy mission.
It's just what it is.
Ours is about money, power, berserk. We're gonna go berserk over there.
Yeah.
And but afterwards we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna live with you people, and you guys are just gonna submit to our rule. Over there, I want you to remove some stuff.
Yeah.
I want you to remove them.
Yeah, it's a cleaning service.
So,
yeah.
so it's different.
Now, here's the thing. If you go back, go to that Viking bald eagle torture thing. The Vikings were pretty, I saw this in that show, The Vikings, on the History Channel. Go down a little bit. Boom. The blood eagle. So, they said that if you could just pull up exactly what it was, but I think what it was is what they would do is they would cut open their ribs and pull their lungs out from under their ribs and wrap them around their collarbones. And you would have to do that and show no pain. And if you showed any pain, you were going to hell. But if you showed no pain, you were going right to Valhalla.
You were going right to Valhalla, and Odin couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah. Do that one. Yeah, explain that one. Because the blood eagle, I remember seeing it in the show. And, again, because it was the Vikings, it was shirtless men running around. I was getting horned up. But I remember when they showed this, torture execution, this torture method, I remember going a little limp because I was like, if that's true, that sucks.
Yeah. By the way, when you go to Sweden or you go to Norway or whatever and you cheers, they go skål. Skål. Now the rumor is that's because the Vikings used to drink out of skulls.
Sure.
But that's not actually, that's just a myth. It's actually the word for bowl or cup.
Got it.
So
okay, so here it was. Here was the blood eagle ritualized execution, described medieval Norse sagas where captive's back was carved open, their ribs severed from the spine and pulled outward like wings, and their lungs drawn out. This was for
it's
people.
Like Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, people they really hated, and it was an offering to Odin. Place the living victim face down, cut an eagle shape with outstretched wings into the flesh of the back, use sharp blades or axes to slice the ribs away from the spine, pull the ribs and skin outward to resemble bloody wings, extract the lungs through an open cavity.
Yeah, I mean, what you're seeing is this is what people did before television. So they just had a different idea of fun, no?
It's just what it is.
They just had a different idea of fun.
It's just what it is.
I'd call you up and say, hey, do you want to go stroll? Do you want to get some Van Leeuwen? And these guys would go, hey, do you want to go string somebody up by their ribs and pull them out and make them look like a butterfly?
Hey, you want to go blood eagle somebody down on Fifth Avenue in the part that changed a little bit?
You want to pull their ribs and skin outward?
Yeah.
And just to look at them.
Yeah.
You want to create some murder art?
Yeah.
So they just had a different idea.
It's just what it is.
They were just built a little different. They were a little bit more vicious. The Vikings, when you really look, I read a book a long time ago. It was like a history of the Vikings. And I remember reading it going like, wow, they don't really teach you this in school. They don't really teach you how brutal. I mean, they would kill priests. They would just...
Women, children, it didn't matter. They kill everybody.
The closer you live to the sea, boss, I mean, it was like...
Guy.
Yeah, because those guys, they like to be on boats, hop on, hop off. They were doing sort of like like the way you do a cruise of the Greek islands where you spend one day on there. That's kind of what the Vikings did. They hopped off, and instead of collecting tchotchkes and having one margarita, what they did is they raped your sister, killed your priest, and they hopped back on a boat.
It's just what it is.
It's what you call a Viking tour.
A Viking tour, and the thing is the different places they would go is just those are the different people they would kill. Like, you want to go on a Muslim cruise? That means we're going to go bald eagle.
That's right.
We can go bald eagle Christians. We can go bald eagle Jews. Well, just go bald. Just you pick.
Yeah, that's what they probably called it too. Like, you want to go bald eagling today?
Yeah, and they would just do a little board. So yeah. So just look, I know that the world may not be exactly to your liking in present day, wherever you're living, but just know it's not as bad as getting bald eagled by a Viking.
It's nice to have a little bit of perspective.
Sure.
It's nice to know that William the Conqueror abolished slavery in England, but he didn't do it to be nice.
Right.
He did it because creating serfdom was even more degrading and financially beneficial. Right. It's nice to know there was a period called the medieval times where everyone claimed to be Christian and they lived completely opposite of Jesus.
It's just
if Jesus showed up during medieval times, he'd go, whoa, guys,
guys,
this is not exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah.
So people were more like animals until we made machines, really.
Right.
So I wonder if with AI, like, we'll continue to just be more peaceful. Because really, that's our true blood, right? That's really what our true blood is.
What, to be peaceful?
To
be vicious?
No, industrialization is like our true blood.
Right.
Like, we didn't only really start to consider, like, United Nations and peace and all these things until we had, like, machines doing most of the
before
hard work.
that, nobody ever wanted peace. There was always constant war.
They wanted slaves. Bad. Big time.
Yeah.
Slaves were something you just wanted.
Now,
because slaves, you can make them work and you could also fuck them whenever you want.
It's just what it is.
So there was some benefits to it from the slave owner's perspective.
Yeah. It's horrible for the slaves, but listen, it's just what it is.
It's just what it is. William the Conqueror, like most people in history, it's a little bit of a good and bad. It's a mix from a modern sensibility. You look back and you want to take his statues down.
Right.
But then if we take his statue down, we got to take everyone's statue down because even Martin Luther King liked pussy.
It's just what it is.
Everybody's got a wrinkle.
Gandhi liked a little young pussy.
It's just what we call inconvenient truths.
Yes.
And we accept it all in Jesus' name.
It's what it is, and we said that we were going to do a little series called Inconvenient Truths during the first strike, and we never did it.
We never got to anything. There was a bunch of series we were going to do Leaky Roof, and we still haven't done it, but that's why you love us.
But that's why you love us, and that's why we're going tomorrow to look at podcast studios, because we might be getting our own space to do more work.
And most people would say, hey, that's a good business decision. You guys will be able to turn out more content. But we're going to look at studios because we want a nice place to walk around that has a lot of restaurants and has a lot of cute stuff.
That's just what it is.
It's just how we're built. It's nothing to fight.
It's nothing to
fight. Other people go, hey, this is a good business district. This is something. Me and you go, where's cute to walk?
That's what it is.
Yeah. So it just makes us different.
It just makes us different, and it's who we are.
Yeah.
And it's because of you, the beautiful fans at patreon.com/historyhyenas, that we're even allowed to do that. So we want to say thank you, and we also want to read the names of the newest members of the matriarchy, the people who have decided to just come and join the Patreon. Not only do they get ad-free episodes, they get bonus episodes that are only heard exclusively at patreon.com/historyhyenas. So welcome to the matriarchy. Welcome. Me Chinese, me play joke. We put fentanyl in your Coke.
Put them on the list.
Put
them on the list right off the bat.
Okay, so that's interesting.
That's huge.
So we have a potential first.
That's called the LeBron James. Came out early
and got. So we this has never happened before. We've had a couple of them that have made it to the finals, but nobody's ever won coming out strong.
Right. We're going to see if you live up to the hype.
Number one pick. Then we got Elliot Page's Juno baby, Achilles. Okay. Then we got Boy Named Jew.
Wait, is that a boy named Stu? Sue, boy named Sue.
Boy named Jew.
Yeah, throw him on there.
Get him on the list.
Throw him on the list.
Why not?
I knew it was a boy named Sue. It's from that's a song, right? Yeah, that's what's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, the song from
What's it from?
the song, Boy Named Sue.
Yeah, it's Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny
Thank
Cash.
you.
Jay Klein 03, Jake Clark, Tom Camilleri. Then we got How Do I Convince My GF to Try Anal? It's been 4 years. 4 years. I can't take it.
Okay, the kids are going through a little struggle.
All right. Pseudo Penis Boner, Anthony Williams, John Terry, Blue Collar Kid, built like a twink, so you know I have a side job.
Okay, I know he's going for. Yeah.
Tristan Huxtable, Eddie Sierra, Freddie Got Fingered, Jake Barge, Chimney Sweeping Flutang Clan. Okay.
Flutang Clan. Nice try.
Why does my wife's sausage gutter taste like Leroy glue?
Sausage gutter is hilarious.
Hilarious, and the kids talk about his wife.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to direct to that. And I know that this is not a family podcast. You guys don't get together to listen to this.
Yeah.
This is something you do when you're in the car alone.
Just know,
I know
but whoever
what's
you know,
going-
just know that somebody out there, the wife calls it your sausage gutter. Okay, so then we got Kaya, MJ, can't spell good because I'm a stupid Elroy.
What's an Elroy?
I guess they meant can't spell good. Like, she's black, she looks like, but I don't know if she used a different picture, but that's not okay.
Yeah.
Jason Hagopian, Cum Commando,
Chicken finger.
Ivan the Squeak, nobody cares about cholesterol. My doctor.
Kids just sick of you talking about it.
Yeah. Leroy Trans, a.k.a. Dings Dong Ditched. Okay,
We've had that.
I use my girl's chimney as a cereal bowl for free Cocoa Puffs.
Put them on the list.
Okay, that's what it
Jesus
is.
Christ.
It's just
Jesus Christ. That's a good one.
It's just what it is.
That is really funny. Yes.
My conservative dad won't stop calling my antidepressants Mom Donnie's Tic Tac.
Put them on the tip. Put them on the list.
Just what it is.
On the list.
Then we got Peacock's cousin. It's Poo Pass. Will, proud dad of a Somali daycare grad.
Put him on the list.
Just what it is.
Strong today.
Cliff Hackney, Mr. AZT. Father $3 bill, Fong into the cuck sauce.
Wait, thong? Okay.
Fong, I know.
Yeah.
Middle Village penis midget.
Drexler. Strong list. Sorry.
Sweaty hands, call them Indian bidets.
Put him on the list.
That's just what it is.
How are these people so funny,
It's
dog?
just what it is. The
How
fans
are
are the
they
best.
so fun? I
They're
don't
the best of all
understand.
time.
I couldn't come up with these names.
They're the best of all time. Best fans ever.
How could they, like, do they sit around, like, for a year till they nail it?
Yeah. Your mom. Then we got keep sitting on my own nuts like a whoopee cushion.
Drexler, I'm sorry. It's a strong list.
Celebrated 42 with some birthday glue. Matt, famous Amos. Waterboarding, a.k.a. Muzzy Baptism.
Wei Song Xian.
I mean, it's got to go on the list. I mean, it's just too funny. I mean,
Okay.
it's bad. It's not going to win because we can't put it up in lights, but it's too good.
Then we got only racist when they board the plane on speakerphone.
Ladder 14.
Drexler.
Derek the Honduran. Hindsight 420. Don't remove the banana string before sticking it up my ass.
We may have to stop. This is too big a list.
It's got 4 more, and then
Yeah, Jesus.
Got a vibrating butt plug in my ass. For sale, well-loved vintage dildo. Pickup location, level 2, Prison Block 263, Amsterdam, a.k.a. Anne Frank's house.
He went for it.
Chubby special needs Latina, call me retortad. Then we got nicotine fiend with a zinni in my peen, ladder 14. So do you want me to stop there?
I want you to stop there because we have way too many already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We already have too many.
You just read one page?
That was just one page.
I mean, it was chock full of too much.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be unfair to keep going.
So, all right. All right, so we'll save that for... Okay,
Yeah.
So here is the list. We have me Chinese, me play joke, we put fentanyl in your Coke.
We got to keep that around.
Okay, boy named Jew.
We gotta chicken finger that.
Okay.
It's a good one.
I use my girl's chimney as a cereal bowl for free Cocoa Puffs.
We got to keep that. We got to
just what
keep that
it
around.
is.
Yes.
Proud dad of a Somali daycare grad.
It's really good. It's a little bit old news, right? We're gonna Drexler it.
All right.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
It's just the way this game works.
Sweaty hands, call them Indian bidets.
We got to keep that around.
Then we got waterboarding, a.k.a. Muzzy Baptism.
We got to keep it around.
It's just what it
It's
is.
so fucked up, but it's so funny.
So we got 4. We got me Chinese, me play joke, we put fentanyl in your Coke. We got I use my girl's chimney as a cereal bowl for free Cocoa Puffs. Sweaty hands, call them Indian bidets. Waterboarding, a.k.a. Muzzy Baptism.
Okay. I can't believe we have this problem 2 fucking episodes in a row. I mean, they're almost getting these. I don't know how they're coming up with these names, dude. The sweaty hands, I'm going to Drexler out of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to Drexler that.
It is very funny, though, the Indian bidets.
It is. But is that a right decision?
I think so.
Compared to the other ones, right?
So then it's between me Chinese, me play joke, we put fentanyl in your Coke.
It's too good.
I use my girl's chimney as a cereal bowl for free Cocoa Puffs.
It's too good.
Or waterboarding, a.k.a. Muzzy Baptism.
You got to put them to the fans. I mean, I'm
think?
not choosing. It's got to go to the fans.
What do you guys think?
Look, just because it's happening 2 times in a row, that's not our fault. We don't predict this stuff. That's too. I'm not making
What do
a
you think,
decision.
Jesse and Nick? Is there any ones that you
Those are
stick
3
out to you
winners.
guys?
Yeah, those are 3 winners, but let's put it to the fans. They did a good job last week. Let's see what they can do this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, go to patreon.com/historyhyenas to see these 3 names. You have to vote. The only way to vote is over there at the Patreon. I don't know. Again, it's between me Chinese, me play joke, we put fentanyl in your Coke.
That's a winner.
I use my girl's chimney as a cereal bowl for free Cocoa Puffs.
That's a winner.
Or waterboarding, a.k.a. Muzzy Baptism.
I mean, it's 3 winners.
These are the choices.
Yeah, so listen, don't get mad. Don't say, oh, you guys are getting lazy. You're not picking them. When it comes to a situation like this where you get 3 winners, we need, you used to call a friend on that show.
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah,
Phone a friend.
we need help.
We need help, and you guys get involved, and we think that when we put it to the vote, again, I know that we picked the correct 3 names last week because it's not like there was a clear-cut winner.
No.
Our fans were divided again.
I bet you they're going to be divided on this. I guarantee you this will be even more divided than last week.
Go vote. Let us know.